There's one repair on a used car that can cost you more than the car is worth. Not the engine, the transmission. And on the cars I'm going to show you today, it isn't bad luck. It's documented. Everything is documented in court. And I know what you might be thinking. You've bought cars your whole life. You know how to check under the hood. Look for rust, take it around the block. You're not naive. And you're not wrong. But the transmissions I'm talking about don't fail on the test drive. They pass it every single time. They drive clean for the first few months, sometimes the first year. Then, somewhere around 60,000 miles, they let go. The repair bill lands at $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a car you might have paid $8,000 for. That's not a repair, that's a total loss. My name is Ray. I grew up under hoods, learned to diagnose a no-start by ear before I was old enough to drive, spent 3 years wrenching at my uncle's shop as a teenager, and 26 years running dealerships after that. I still change my own oil, still have a project car in the garage I've been at longer than I'd like to admit. The mechanical side never left me. But I also know something most car guys don't. I spent years standing in auction lanes, every Tuesday, sourcing used inventory for the stores I ran. I watched what happened when a car came in on trade with a transmission that was starting to go. Cleaned up, run through the wholesale lane, onto a smaller lot across town, then in front of a buyer who had no idea what they were sitting in. I saw that cycle run more times than I can count. I want you to understand that before we get into the names, what I'm giving you today isn't forum complaints. It isn't gut feeling. It's court records, class action settlements, manufacturer warranty extensions that got issued because the lawsuits were filed and the evidence was there. 12 cars you absolutely must avoid. By the time we're done, you'll know which transmissions are the problem, which model years to avoid, and the one inspection that catches all of it before you ever put pen to paper. Listen, if you're in the market for a used car right now, or someone you care about is, this is worth your time. Most people trust Honda, have for a long time. It's generally earned. Honda builds good cars. But that trust is exactly how this one gets you. The 9-speed automatic in the Pilot, the Odyssey, and the Passport, across a wide stretch of recent model years, has been the subject of a class action alleging a programming defect. Rough shifts, delayed engagement, sudden lurching. Owners who complained were given software updates. That's called a reflash. The dealer downloads new instructions and calls it fixed. This one masked the symptom without touching the cause. And it wasn't Honda's first time. They settled a class action over the V6 automatics in the Accord, Odyssey, and Pilot a generation earlier. Same vehicle families, same lawsuit twice. That's a pattern. If you're looking at one of these, here's exactly what you say. Has this transmission had any service work done, and are there any open technical service bulletins? TSBs, Technical Service Bulletins, are what manufacturers issue when they know a problem exists, but it hasn't reached recall territory yet. 2 or 3 of them for the same transmission complaint isn't coincidence. It's a paper trail. Let that trail make your decision. I'll be fair. Most Hondas are still some of the most reliable used cars on the market. What I just told you is about a specific transmission in specific years. Don't let one bad unit scare you off a good brand. Let it make you ask the right question. Now the name you're going to see 4 times on this list. Nissan's CVT, Continuously Variable Transmission. Belt and pulleys instead of gears. Smooth pull, no shifts you can feel. Sounds good. On a lot of platforms it works fine. On Nissan's lineup across a long stretch of model years, it has been settled in court 5 separate times. 5 class action settlements. We're covering 4 Nissan models today, and they're all here for the same reason. The Sentra, 2013 through 2017. Budget car, everyday buyer. The CVT in this generation starts showing shudder on acceleration around 50 or 60,000 miles. Then hesitation. Then one morning it goes into limp mode, locked in 1 gear, 30 miles an hour maximum, or it quits entirely. Replacement runs $4,000 to $6,000. On a car you might have paid $7,000 for. If you're shopping the budget end of the used lot, and a lot of folks on a fixed income are, listen close. These are exactly the cars that cycle through those lots. They look clean, they test drive clean, the person selling it knew what was coming. You need to know the names before you fall in love with the price. The Versa and the Versa Note. Same transmission, same failure, same lawsuits. For years, this was the cheapest new car in America, which means used lots are full of them. The people buying them tend to be the ones who can least afford what comes next. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is a good time. This information changes decisions at the lot. That's the only reason this channel exists. The Altima. More car, same problem. 2013 to 2016. A man named Gerald came through my service department once. Retired, deliberate kind of guy. Had owned trucks and full-size sedans his whole life. He'd bought an Altima private sale a few weeks before. Said it started shaking at the light, kind of like it was cold. It wasn't cold. That was the CVT beginning to slip. By the time we got it on the lift, the fluid had gone dark and the belt was already showing irregular wear. Gerald ended up with a $4,000 repair on a car he'd paid $6,500 for. He said it quiet, almost to himself. I should have known. He shouldn't have had to know. That's what this is for. The Chrysler 200 and the Jeep Cherokee. Different cars, different brands, same transmission. It's called the ZF 9-speed. German engineered, meant to be sophisticated. In practice, it became one of the most documented transmission failures of its era. Jerking into gear, sudden power loss. Drivers losing drive at intersections. Chrysler recalled over 400,000 vehicles. Class actions were settled. Extended warranties were issued. Many of those replacement units failed again within the year. When a dealer tells you one of these has been taken care of, here's what you ask. Was the actual transmission replaced or just reprogrammed? If the answer is reprogrammed, the mechanical problem is still there. Software doesn't fix hardware. I'll say this honestly. The Cherokee is a capable SUV, and the 200 was a real sedan when it ran right. I'll give them that. The court records show what happened to the people who owned them when it didn't. That's the first half. Every car I just named is sitting on used lots right now. The second half is where the repair bills get serious, and one of them might already be in your driveway. The Murano. Heavier car, same CVT family, bigger repair bill. These are part of the same Nissan litigation that's been running through the courts for years. And when the transmission lets go on a Murano, you're looking at $6,000, $7,000, sometimes $8,000 on a vehicle you might have paid $12,000 for. The math stops working the day it fails. And if you've noticed that half this list is one brand, I want to be straight about it. That's not a grudge. That's where the court records are. Nissan settled this CVT problem 5 separate times, model line by model line. I'm not picking on them. I'm reading the docket. The Rogue, 2014 through 2018. This was Nissan's bestseller for years, which means it's the single most common of these cars sitting on used lots right now. The federal court settlement covered the exact transmission in those exact model years. Same shutter, same slip. Same bill. If you go to any 3 used lots in your city this week, you will see a Rogue from this window. Now you know what to look for. The Silverado and the Sierra, 8-speed automatic, 2015 through 2019. Shudder in the higher gears, hard lurching on downshifts. Owners described it as being rear-ended at a stop. A federal class action was filed and is working through the courts. Here's the part that bothers me. Documents produced in the litigation showed that GM's own engineers had identified a fix, around $300 per vehicle, about $600 million total across the fleet. GM then developed a revised transmission fluid that addressed the shudder problem, and they put it in the trucks that were still sitting unsold on dealer lots. The trucks already in your driveway got a flush and a new appointment. I ran dealerships for a long time. I understand how these decisions get made. That doesn't mean I have to be fine with it. The Pathfinder, 2013 through 2018. 3 rows, full family load, same CVT that couldn't handle the weight. The failure pattern on these shows up well before 6 figures on the odometer. On a vehicle people are loading up with grandkids and luggage and towing things with on the weekend. Two separate class action settlements covered this transmission in this vehicle. The replacement runs $8,000 or more. That is not a repair most people can absorb on a family SUV that's losing value fast. Listen, I need to tell you something I'm not proud of. Cars like these, the ones with transmission problems starting to show, came through the stores I ran as trade-ins all the time. We'd look at what the transmission was likely to cost us, and we'd send it to the wholesale lane, to the auction, off our books. I knew what I was doing. The buyers on the other side of the lane knew too. That car sitting on a corner lot right now, clean and detailed and priced just low enough to feel like a deal. There is a real chance it passed through a lane I was standing in. I'm not telling you that for sympathy. I'm telling you because it's how this works, and now you know it does. The Fiesta, 2011 through 2016, Ford's entry-level car. First car buyers, tight budgets, people who just needed something reliable to get them through the week. Fitted with the same transmission we're about to cover. The class action, Vargas versus Ford, covered 1.9 million owners. That's a number worth sitting with for a moment. The Focus, 2012 through 2016. This is the one. Same 6-speed dual-clutch PowerShift. Same dry clutch design that was structurally wrong for American stop-and-go conditions from the start. Shudder, jerk, surge, loss of drive at speed. Owners who went back to their dealers were told the problem was normal, that this was how the transmission was supposed to feel, that they were driving it wrong. Documents from the litigation showed Ford had internal knowledge of the defect well before the car stopped being sold. Consumer Reports listed the Focus of this era among the vehicles most likely to need a transmission replacement. The class action settlement established a buyback program for owners with persistent, unresolved failures, vehicles valued at $15,000 and above. It isn't at number one because it's the worst transmission ever built. It's at number one because of what came after. The owners who went back. The pattern of being told nothing was wrong. A company that had the information, kept selling, and then fought its own customers until a federal settlement became cheaper than continuing to fight. They sold it anyway. For years. That's why it's number one. A transmission doesn't warn you. That's the through line on every car I just covered. It passes the test drive. Every single time. You can check the Carfax, look under the hood, kick the tires, and still drive home something that cost you $5,000 before the year is out. The court record is the only warning you're going to get before you sign. The trick isn't being a mechanic. It's knowing which badge hides which gearbox before you fall in love with the paint. Here's the list again, quickly. The Honda 9-speed in the Pilot, Odyssey, and Passport. 6 Nissan CVTs, the Sentra, Versa, and Versa Note, Altima, Murano, Rogue, and Pathfinder. The ZF 9-speed in the Jeep Cherokee and the Chrysler 200. The 8-speed in the Silverado and the Sierra. And the 2 Fords on PowerShift, the Fiesta and the Focus. Don't try to memorize all of that. You won't. Write down the ones that match what you're already looking at. That's enough. Here's what you do before you hand over $1 on any of these. Get a pre-purchase inspection from a transmission shop, not a general mechanic. A transmission shop. $100, maybe $150. On any of these 12, that inspection is not optional. It is the only thing that catches what the test drive won't. Second, some of these came with extended warranty coverage from their class action settlements. Some to 84,000 miles, some to 100,000. Run the VIN. Some to 84,000 miles, some to 100,000. Run the VIN. But I'll be straight with you. On most of these cars, that clock ran from the original sale date and it's already expired. Check anyway. Don't count on it. Third, no documented transmission service history on the car you're looking at. Fluid changes, any of it? Walk. There are 100 other used cars on 100 other lots. These aren't evil cars. Most of them drove just fine. Right up until they didn't. The difference between a good buy and a $5,000 mistake isn't luck. It's the $150 you spend at a transmission shop before you sign anything. That's it. That's the video. Same research, different problem. If it's the engine you're worried about on your next used car, that video is right here.